And imagine this logo was ever this logo. I almost thought it was a different logo. Because this one looks so light, obviously, most of it's chipped away. And to have a new Coffee with Ken mug with a dark logo seems, I don't know, it's kind of hard to imagine. My girls just left. And I had at one point given them each a mug. Maybe their friends each had a mug and their mom had a mug. And so they had more mugs than they probably needed. And their dad, who is the Ken of Coffee with Ken, was drinking out of this whole thing. And my girls had one of these in their car, so I said, "Hey, Dad, you want one of these? We got extra." So I said, "Okay." And I have it. And I'm going to drink out of it. So let me pour myself some coffee. Grab my phone. Oh, the sun's really popping out. It's kind of an overcast morning. It still is. I don't think it's going to be too bright over here. Let's have a seat and see how it feels. Let us see. I left my lighter over there. Hold on. We went to dinner at Texas Roadhouse last night. The girls were itching for some dinner after we shopped, and we're talking about their onion that they have over there and how good their bread is. So we had dinner at the Roadhouse last night, and I don't know, this woman came up and put a sticker on me. So I'm still representing. You're super, Dad. That was sweet. My girls just left. I was crying as they drove off. Was sad this morning when I woke up because I knew they'd be going. And, I mean, they're big girls. You know, kids grow older, but you miss them. And it was just so nice having them here the last couple days. Not even that we did anything crazy, but just knowing they were around. You know, there was one yesterday morning, I was at a coffee shop and they were shopping in town and going to a bunch of little boutiques, and you know, they weren't even with me, but they were near me and I felt them around. And I think as a parent, and I'm sure a lot of moms out there know it, when your kids go to college or something, I'm sure it's hard for a lot of moms. And all of a sudden it's you and your husband or whatever in the house and kids aren't around, you feel like something big is missing. And it was sure nice having my girls here this weekend, I'll say that. So, hello, Sanaya. Hello, Mark. Hello, Sid. Hello, Schlevel. Hello, Nemo. Yeah, you felt a void with your kids when they went to, without your kids when they went to college. Yeah. Yeah. Again, I'm divorced. So I'm a single dad and I'm kind of used to life in my apartment. I mean, I don't want to say sad or lonely because I don't really feel sad or lonely, but, I'm not used to having my kids around, and it was so nice having my, girls here just the last couple days and watching a movie with them and having them sleeping in the room next door, and even their grumpy faces as they got up with their hoods up and went into the bathroom was nice. And yeah, that was balling as they were driving away. Packed them a little to-go bag, some fruit, some rolls we got from Texas Roadhouse. Hope they're still good. Yeah. Good morning, Taz. Why I got divorced. You just got here. I don't know. We can touch on that if you want. I think I got divorced because I married women I wasn't supposed to be married to. But good morning, good morning, good morning to you. My name is Ken Tracy, and this is Coffee with Ken. It is Monday morning, it's June 16th. It is 8:04 a.m. Happy Monday. It's a little show I've been doing for quite some time. It's a show, oh, look at this, I got new PJs. Sorry, I forgot. New PJs, woo-hoo-hoo-hoo. Father's Day gift, along with a package of other stuff. It was cute. They brought it up, a bunch of stuff, a basket. There's a Bible in there. There's peanut M&Ms. There's Oreos. I was kind of mad they got me peanut M&Ms and Oreos because they know I have a problem. There's a tin of pretzels and, I don't know, a candle or something. It was really sweet. But I'm most excited, I think, about my PJs. The ones they got me a few years ago. And had a hole in them. But anyway, this is a show I've been doing for quite some time. It is a show about me talking. It's a show about me sharing some feelings, kind of sharing a little bit about the ups and downs we have in life, sharing a few moments with you guys every morning here on YouTube. But for those that have been watching a while, you know it's not just a show about me talking. You know it is also a show about me sharing my love of coffee. And with that in mind, I have a nice hot cup of coffee in front of me. And I am so excited to have my first sip at this very late hour on this Monday morning for me. I usually get started at about 6. Girls were packing up. Let them get out the door and me shed some tears before I decided to brew my coffee. And again, I'm excited to have my first sip. My hope is wherever you are and whatever you're doing, that you have a hot cup of coffee in front of you as well. Cheers to us. Oh, that's nice. That is nice. Kind of reminds me that everything's going to be okay. Oh, sometimes you get caught up in your emotions and doesn't feel like everything's going to be okay. Wanted to climb in the car and what is it called? Stowaway. Be a stowaway in their car, eating the fruit I packed for them. They would have reached into the back seat and realized Dad was in the back seat with them, eating all their strawberries. Would have been kind of nice though. Yeah. Somebody asked new PJs. Yeah, it was Father's Day, obviously, weekend, and my daughters bought me a new pair of PJs. What would I do without my daughters? I'd wear ripped PJs. By the way, I went. I've been looking for a new pair of blue jeans for the last, month or so, and hadn't had any success. And I've been shopping at a store called Fleet Farm. There's a farm in Fleet in Illinois, and there's a Fleet Farm in Wisconsin. The names are so close, it seems there must be a connection. But I'm not sure there's any affiliation with the two businesses, except they're really cool stores, or at least this one is. Kind of a guy's store, if you will. I mean, they sell women's clothes and things, but it's much more of an outdoor store than I'm used to. Like, they sell chicks, like baby chickens. They sell them. I saw them yesterday. They put them in a little box. It's like a munchkin box with a little window to it. And I don't know, they're like $4.99 each. In 4 or 5 months, I was talking to a guy next to me. They are laying eggs, I guess. Might be a really neat hobby, actually, having chickens. Especially with the price of eggs going high. Somebody said they were owned by separate brothers. Okay. Really good shows or store though. But anyway, again, I think it could be a great hobby. I was walking around, we walked up, there was like a riding mower that you get to sit in. It looked kind of, I don't know if any of you remember the green machine, which was a thing in the 70s, like it was a big wheel, but it was called a green machine. Kind of reminded me of that. You sit on top of the lawnmower and you got these levers to steer, and you just, I think I'd feel really macho riding it. And I was joking because I live in a 1-bedroom apartment. I don't even have a lawn, but I wanted to buy the lawnmower because it looked cool. And there's so many things in there that are, calling out to your inner macho-ness. There are guns, there's bows and arrows, fishing rods, tools, jeans, hats. I tried on a hat yesterday. The girls didn't think I should get it. I was surprised how reasonable it was. I thought I looked pretty damn good in it. Yeah, I thought I looked pretty darn good in it. But anyway, we went jeans shopping, and my daughter grabbed a pair and said, "Here, try these. These are lighter than the ones you have. They'll look good." I put them on, and I got them out of the dressing room, and I don't know, I thought they fit well. But they hated them. They said, "Oh no, they look like ones Mom would wear or I would wear." And I'm going, "Huh? What do you mean?" And a young saleswoman came up, and I go, "Hey, my daughters hate these jeans. They say they're women's jeans, or they're mom jeans." And I go, "Are they?" And she goes, I could tell she thought they were, but she goes, "They look okay." So anyway, went through a series of changes, finding the right fit and the right size for anyone out there on a relaxed fit. I think if you get a regular fit, you need wider jeans or a bigger belt. I think on a regular fit jeans, I think 36, 32 would be my size. But on a stretched or relaxed fit, 34, 32 felt very comfortable. And I ended up buying some slightly more expensive jeans, a little darker. I could not tell, but Erin could tell by looking at them which were the low-priced jeans and which were not. And she felt very strong about it. I'm glad she was there, or I could have been walking around looking totally uncool in mom jeans that were obviously low-priced. Oh, hello, Sandra. How are you? White jeans are king. That's strange. I don't know if white jeans are king. I'll tell you what, my daughters wear very tattered jeans. Very tattered jeans. I mean, I get it. Worn jeans or slight rips, I know I've been around, but I mean, Erin's jeans were falling apart, I think. You know? All right. I gotta put that user in a timeout. They're going in for 30 minutes. Oh, they're gonna be in for 30 minutes. Wonder if they'll stick around in their timeout for 30 minutes. Bought a couple new plants. Hello, Shirky. Bought a hibiscus that we're calling Morgan because although Morgan said its flowers were pink, and apparently they close up. The flowers close up. I don't know if you can see it back there, but I guess I can walk closer. During nighttime, the flowers kind of close up and then they open again and get real pretty. But we're going to call that plant Morgan. And we're going to call this plant Aaron, because I'm not sure exactly why, but I thought I'd name my plants after my kids. And then that plant really doesn't have a name. That might be Dad. But I don't know if I want to call it Dad. So that's my story on that. We also got those at Fleet Farm. My house is insanely clean. Well, thank you. I mean, I slept on that futon right there, and my girls had my bedroom. And on the futon, by the way, it was real comfortable. I got a great night's sleep last night. I laid out the foam mattress pad on top of it, and then laid out my bear's blanket as a form of a sheet. Then put a sleeping bag over me, and I got one of the pillows for my bed, and it was really nice. It was really nice sleeping last night. Woke up at, I don't know, like 5, and thought I'd get up and do my show maybe, and I started wondering if I'd have time before the girls got going. Thought I didn't want to rush, and drifted off to sleep till about 7, and kind of tapped on the girls' door because Aaron has to work today, and they needed to be on the road by 8 o'clock or so. You should have something under the plant to retain water. Well, I appreciate that, Thomas Bello, but my plants are in a plastic case that has holes in it. And when you pour it in, I believe the water can come out of those holes. And then they're in a larger plastic pot that I believe should retain water for them. I think they'll be pretty cool. Is it true I dated Corey Feldman? No. He's about my age. He's kind of been lurking around in my life since I was a child, as he was a child actor. Now he's like a heavy metal singer for a band, I believe. Yeah. Well, Riley says I'm beautiful. That's nice to hear, Riley. My day, Charmaine, is starting pretty well. I mean, I just bawled. I just bawled. People worry so much about the security deposit. Somebody said you don't want watermarks on the floor, or there goes your security deposit. There was a woman leaving. I think she was actually cleaning for her sister that was leaving my apartment building, was moving out, and she was fine scrubbing the windowsill with like a toothbrush. I mean, I don't know how many hours she put in to scrub the windowsill, and I don't know that they would, I don't know. I think basic regular wear and tear is expected. I don't expect any major water damage on my floor. Plus, it's some tile that I don't think has issues with water. And anyway, if I'm worried about water damage on my floor, it'd be outside my bathtub, where every day I climb out of the bath and walk with my bare feet and leave water marks on the floor. Let's see. What is Ken doing today? Corey is 53, 55 said. 55, are you a girl? You had a crush on the other Corey back in the day? Corey Haim? They were both in, what's the vampire movie? I saw half of that vampire movie with Kiefer Sutherland the other day. They were both in that. Yeah, he was in Goonies. No, you mean Corey Haim. Corey Haim was in Lucas, which I talk about from time to time, which was an amazingly good movie that very few people have seen, and it's hard to find on video these days. I'm not totally sure why. And it was filmed close to where I live at a school that I know very well, Glenbard West. Corey was in Jaws 5. Was there really a Jaws 5? I mean, I knew there were a bunch of Jawses. Yeah, I knew there were a bunch of Jawses. I watched Jaws last night, the second half of it with my daughters. I think they thought it was a very good movie. You know, I mean, I don't know. The movie's 50 years old. The shark, does it look real? I don't know. I mean, it looks sort of real. It looks sort of real. When Quint gets bit at the end and his blood comes out his mouth. Did I enjoy Breakfast Club? It wasn't so good. I think it's grown on society as a coming of age film, and the music in it and the actors in it. And I mean, what was the burnout's name in Breakfast Club? He annoyed me. Yeah, he annoyed me. He was, I thought, bothersome and distracting. I thought it was good. But it's not one that I'll watch if it comes on, I don't even get TNT, but let's be hypothetical and imagine that I have TNT that I pay for cable, because I don't. It's not one I'll watch. John Bender, thank you. If it comes on TV, I don't enjoy it so much. I mean, I'm not saying, I'm glad the movie exists, if that makes sense. But for me, as far as, you know, they were my age, which I think is kind of neat. That was made in like 1985. And I was a junior and senior in high school in 1985. And it was hard, you know, all those movies, Pretty in Pink, and we're all actors roughly my age, a couple of years older, but they were playing kids that were in high school at the same time when I was in high school. So it was a neat time to grow up in the 80s, just because of, what was it, John Hughes, I think, did those movies, I think. And I guess they're called coming of age movies. I don't even know who won the U.S. Open. Sid says, how about that final putt from Spawn yesterday? I don't even know what happened. I did not watch a minute of the U.S. Open. So I don't know. I'm guessing by that question, there's a golfer named Spawn that made a long putt to win the U.S. Open. And it's ridiculous. I don't know it. When we were going into Texas Roadhouse, I was hoping we could get a seat where I could watch the golf tournament, but we ended up sitting in the dining room area. I was hoping to find a spot in the bar, but it was crowded as heck. Wow, it was crowded. People were running all over. It's always crowded there. Wells thinks 94 was the best time to be born. You love that movie. You graduated from high school in 1984, said Angela Davis Smith. Are you talking The Breakfast Club? Or did I talk about another movie? I assume you're talking about Breakfast Club. There was Pretty in Pink. And then there was another one that was very like Pretty in Pink. Uh, yeah. I've turned it to subscriber only. I'm doing well. Thank you for asking. Oh, Randy is reading us a daily, I'll read it, daily Bible verse from Ezekiel 18, chapter 18, verse 32. For I take no pleasure in the death of anyone, declares the sovereign Lord. Repent and live. What's the other one that's not like Pretty, that's like Pretty in Pink, but it's not Pretty in Pink? I think it has the redhead actress in it as well. What is that movie? Wasn't there another one? 16 Candles. 16 Candles. Maybe it's not like Pretty in Pink, but it has the redheaded actress in it, as does Breakfast Club. She's not Meg Ryan. That's not Meg Ryan. Meg Ryan wasn't in that crew. I liked Meg Ryan. I think I might have had a crush on Meg Ryan when I was young. Molly Ringwald, that's right, Molly Ringwald. Strangely, Molly Ringwald, I don't know if any of you guys know the movie American Girls. The American Girls movie. There's a bunch of very expensive dolls made for girls that, and there was a movie called American Girls, a bunch of different movies, and one of them was named Molly. And it was about a girl, I don't know, some girl, during World War II. And the mother was played by Molly Ringwald in that movie. And the movie was called Molly, but it was not about her, it was about her daughter. I wonder if she got cast for that role because she's the most famous Molly ever. It'd be kind of cool to be the most famous Molly ever. I mean, I guess. I'm screwed because there's always Ken and Barbie. There's no way I could be the most famous Ken ever. Okay, I think about Donald Trump. He'll never be the most famous Donald. Donald Duck, I think we'll always have him beat. You know? Is Brad Pitt the most famous Brad? Can you think of any other famous Brads? Coach Will, those dolls are probably worth a lot because they were expensive as heck. Coach Will says his wife has a bunch of the American Girl dolls hidden away somewhere. Yeah, they were like $120 each or something. In Chicago, I don't know if there's still a store there, but there was a big store on Michigan Avenue, the American Girl store. I'll tell you, the movies are actually pretty good, Coach Will. If you ever want to make your wife cry and maybe do something romantic, maybe go to the library or rent them somehow, get a few of the American Girl movies, and it'll probably bring her back to her youth. They're actually fairly good. I mean, they're about young women, young girls, and doing various girl things. You know the characters. If you're a young girl and you had American Girl dolls, you know some of the characters. But some of them were kind of tear jerkers. Yeah. They had big actors too. Matt Damon was in one that was a really good one about a young woman in Ohio who wanted to be a reporter. Forget her name. She wanted to be a reporter or a writer, and it was during the Depression, and I think her dad had to leave and go for work, and her dad was played by Matt Damon. Yeah. I think I'm going to need a little more coffee. I don't know what my day holds. My day were so full the last 2 days. I mean, I get to go to work later today. It's hard transitioning back to an empty apartment after having a very full apartment with your two daughters, with two of your three daughters. I have three daughters. One did not come. And I have a son. He also did not come. Would have been lovely to see him. I FaceTimed him. It was the best I could do. Yeah. So when does the stream start? It starts when I wake up and I pour my coffee. Yeah, it starts when I have my coffee. I usually go live around 6:30, but I was fortunate enough to sleep in, and then my girls were leaving, and waited for them to go to start. Coach Will says his movie tastes are probably typical of most 40 to 60 or something year old men. So Coach Will, you and I would have the same taste. 40 to 60s, it seems like a big range for men. Let me ask, have you seen Die Hard, Coach Will? Have you seen Terminator? A friend of mine who's a longtime viewer something must be a little askew with him, because he's 55 coming up on 56, I think, this year, and he's never seen Terminator or Die Hard or any movie not associated with Boston. Does it get busy at work on a Monday? Mondays are not, I don't think Mondays are anybody's busiest day. I mean, they must be somebody's busiest day. What business would be super busy on a Monday? I think banking, financial business, because there's a lot of stuff coming in probably over the weekend. I think in the stock market, you've got a lot of investors looking to do trades over the weekend that couldn't do trades, so they're probably entering orders for Monday during the market. Yeah. Thank you, Coach Will, for verifying. You would understand then why a man who is 55 or 56 years old, who hasn't seen Die Hard or The Terminator, movies that were made for men of a certain age and that age, that came out in the 80s when those guys were teens to 20s, and he hasn't seen them. You'd be totally aghast too. But other than that, he seems like a well-rounded individual and a nice guy as well. Still, seems like he should go see those movies. I'm gonna get a little more coffee. You wanna come along? Sure. Oh! Got a couple bowls in the sink. My daughter Morgie and I had some ice cream last night while watching Jaws. It was the Rocky Road ice cream. My daughter Erin, who can be kind of cantankerous from time to time, was trying to put a bad spin on Rocky Road, saying how bad it is because it's got like nuts and marshmallows in it and it's chocolate. And I was like, well, what's not to like about that? And Morgie goes, ooh, I love that, and went and got some. The lenses, 68 or 69. My husband and I have seen all the Die Hards. Jaws, that's a great one. It sure is. And Aaron suggested it. I'm glad. I don't know that they'd ever watched the whole movie. But it was great. The Rambo movies were great. Yeah, I can remember, I mean, obviously the first one was great. Apparently the screenplay for that was horrible when it was first written. I've heard Sylvester Stallone talking about it. That the lines were so bad in it that they cut most of his lines out, and it's a very quiet or Rambo doesn't say a whole lot. Apparently, they cut out most of his lines because the lines were horrible. Rocky Road is your least favorite ice cream. I don't believe you, 55. I just don't believe you. There's no way that Rocky Road is your least favorite ice cream. I mean, there's a million flavors, and there's just no way that Rocky Road could be your least favorite. Sounds like we got a lot of late 60s babies here. I think that was the time to be born. Oh, I was alive before man walked on the moon. How does one get revenue off of 46 viewers? Well, they grow it every day. My son likes Jaws and said are there more? He is autistic and a genius. Are there more what? Jaws movies? Sure. There was like a Jaws 2. I think there was a Jaws 3 in 3D, and apparently there were a few other Jaws movies. Loose Leaves Makes Money Trees is wondering if man really did walk on the moon. For most of my life, I assumed that was fact, but I'm not sure. Coach Will was terrified because his aunt owned a statue of a unicorn whose shadow looked like Jaws. He also watched Sharknado. I've never seen the Sharknado movies. Yeah. Huh. It's interesting. We have new people hopping on. I thought I set it to subscriber only. But we have new people hopping on. And I guess I appreciate new people. Good morning, Big Mayo. How are you? Man Walking on the Moon was shot in a movie studio. How do you guys think about that? What do you guys think about that? Did man really walk on the moon? For me, I have a hard time believing that they didn't, because it would be very difficult to keep all the people involved in that quiet. You know? And have Neil Armstrong not tell his wife at some point that, hey, honey, I didn't really go to the moon. Or even like Tom Hanks, who did Apollo 13. Who did Apollo 13, not discover, because they must have done an amazing amount of research for Apollo 13, the movie. You guys know the one I'm talking about? Where it was a few flights after that Armstrong landed on the moon, and they were gonna land on the moon, and Tom Hanks' character was really excited, but they had an engine issue and just barely got back alive. But they must have interviewed tons of people for research for that movie. And for all of them to hold off and lie, I think would have been impossible. You know, I just think it would have been impossible. So, okay, it looks like most of my viewers think man did walk on the moon. There's some skepticism about the validity of the video. I don't know. I don't know. The lens says yes, and we have the round pictures of the Earth to prove we've been in space. For some reason, the lens chose to capitalize round and Earth. Coach Will says he's skeptical of almost everything. Coach Will, you're skeptical of me. I haven't lit a candle yet. Don't really need to. The Earth is flat. Well, it sure looks like it. I mean, look out there. It looks flat. I mean, think how hard it would be. Why wouldn't people from 500 years ago think the Earth is flat? I mean, the only reason you might not think the Earth is flat is because you can look up and you can see the moon and the sun, and they're round. And you go, well, if they're round, it would be strange that the Earth is. But I mean, how would you even understand what space is? Discovery is an amazing thing, and the fact that intelligence has grown, or we've, put things together piece by piece. But I guess we've been piecing apart or together the space for all existence. Man's always looked up into space and wondered what those little flickers of light were in the sky. Thought the sun was a god and the moon was a god, and you can certainly see why. My beautiful mentor, your voice is so soothing, like a warm sunset. You can see curves when pilots hit the end of the atmosphere. Well, yeah, but I'm talking, how did we know back then? I mean, before there were pilots. Like, who decided the world wasn't flat? Galileo or something? Oh, that's nice. Copernicus? You say Copernicus is the one that said the world's round? Does anyone here know the origins of NASA? NASA. I called it Nassau, like the Bahamas. I did that the other day too. Sylvia says that's why they called Galileo a heretic for saying the earth was round and traveled around the sun. Back then, you did not want to be called a heretic. You were one more terse word from being burnt at the stake back then. Did I get a big piece of Texas-sized beef at the Roadhouse, says Mark. No. What did I get? I got a sirloin. I mean, it was 16-ounce sirloin. I'm sort of budget conscious. They have various cuts of meat. I have no issue with buying the sirloin. I mean, I don't know. It tasted amazing. But it was 16 ounces. It was big, but not crazy big. My girls each got a 6-ounce steak. I finished Morgie's. I was pretty done at then. Is it possible to immigrate to the USA legally? Medium rare. Is it possible to immigrate to the U.S. legally? I would imagine. I mean, my mother did it, so it must be possible, but she did it in the 1960s. She grew up in Scotland, came over in a boat in like 1962 or 1963, and somehow became a U.S. citizen. Okay, Mobsidian says, hey, let's see. The Lens said our amazing government made NASA possible. All right. Mobsidian says there was a guy, Eratosthenes, 2,000 years ago, who measured the size of the earth and shape using a couple of sticks. And I don't doubt it. And he was probably fairly accurate. I don't know how they did it. I've never heard of that guy. Somebody named X has sent maybe hundreds of resumes and you're not hearing back. Okay. Talking to my oldest, Erin, who was applying for jobs. She wanted to be a waitress at some restaurants in the western suburbs. And was frustrated with the job search. I think the job search is frustrating, and you can feel like you're sending in hundreds of resumes and not hear anything back. I'll tell you, it's a lot easier to send in hundreds of resumes today than it used to be. You used to have to find an address and send it in or go visit the place of business. But now you can get on websites like Indeed and send out 10 applications in 10 minutes roughly. And you may or may not hear back. I kind of find that somewhat problematic and frustrating because, 50 years ago, you walk into, hardware store and say, hey, Mr. Johnson, do you need somebody working? Do you need an employee? And he'll say, sorry, Ken, we're fully staffed. At least you'll get a response. But now, like on Indeed, you can send out applications all day, all around the world. And it's easy to do, but it's easy to get ignored too. Oh, that's nice. That is nice. I should mow lawns as a side hustle. No, I don't think I should. The Lens says your husband and my husband and I did walk-ins to get our jobs. We'd walk in and ask about posted or non-posted jobs and then get hired. The Lens, I do many videos about that. I think if you really want a job, you should walk in to the place of business and say, hi, my name's Ken. You could probably say, my name's Ken Tracy. Are you hiring? And I think that's what you do if you really want or need a job. They might tell you you need to apply online. And you go, okay, but I wanted to put a face to the name when my application came through, but it was really nice meeting you. And at least you get that done. And some places, if they're really hiring and not just gathering data, might actually hire you. Is Miranda a common name in the United States? No. It's not. Somebody asked how we generate revenue on a stream with 51 people watching. And the way you do it is you be consistent and you do it every day and you build your audience. And you post shorts and reels and TikToks on various social media platforms. And you don't do it overnight. I think some people might do a video and become big successes overnight because it goes viral. But I think just like anything, if you do it brick by brick, it's going to have a more firm foundation. And I know for me, I've been doing this for 6 years, and I maybe all told have 70,000 viewers on social media, which isn't a ton, but it's something. And grows a little bit every day. And I used to get a lot more concerned at how many people were watching on a given show, or how many people watched a given video, or I was waiting tables a year ago, and I used to, or 10 years ago, and I used to get upset if I got a bad tip, or love it if I got a great tip. I think I've come to the point in life, or matured enough, where I realize things take time, and you keep at it, and you keep a good attitude, and you're going to grow. X just became a member. Somebody just became a member. X became a member. Thank you so much for becoming a member. Yeah, that's awesome. I appreciate that. Well, I'm glad I gave you hope, and that I'm not racist. We haven't even talked about race. But I appreciate you gathering that I'm not racist. How do you become a member? I don't know, but somebody named X just became a member. There must be on a screen, right? How do you become a member, X? How did you do it? And if you want any special care or special things, let me know, because you click the $, Angela. Do you see a $sign on your screen? I don't see a $sign, but apparently there's a $sign on my screen. And if you click it, you become a member. Angela said she tried, but she couldn't figure it out. Click $sign on the right bottom corner. You can't on the iPhone, only on the laptop. X, are you on a laptop? I don't even have a $, screen on the lower right. Okay, Angela Davis, you see it. X says you click on it. I'm not totally sure. Oh, you're using Android. Okay. Huh. Really sucks that on the iPhone you can't become a member to Coffee with Ken, because you know it's a great time to become when you're a member of Coffee with Ken. It is a great time. Well, what's that all about? How come there's a $sign on your iPhone? Can you click that? Driving for Dough said, if I were you, I'd become an expert on your own channel. Social media might not be your forte. Let me guess, Driving for Dough, you don't have a channel. And if you do, you have no viewers. So I'm getting advice from a guy that doesn't post videos, has no channel, and has no viewers. And I just find that funny. Mark Various, what's my opinion on race? What do you mean? Ask me more. You have a $sign, no member link. Your iPhone shows it through the color box that pops up under the $sign. Huh. You do. And how many viewers do you have, Driving for Dough? And how much revenue do you generate? Oh, you have 3,000 viewers on another platform. It's always that way. Super Chat is probably the one. What do you think about race relations today in America? I hope that it's becoming better. And that I know when I was a kid, I think there was more tension between races. I think people of all races mix together with greater ease than when I was a child. And so I'm going to say we came a long way. The lens says, if you say you want the color box, it will allow you to join. I don't even know what the color box is. But I appreciate the work we're doing on growing the members of Coffee with Ken. Angela says super stickers and super chat is what she sees when she pushes the $sign. Oh. Oh, that's nice. That is nice. Water's really good. Ice cold water's really good. Condensations can be an issue from time to time, but it's still really good. I don't know, are you guys trying to figure out how to become a member? Do you believe in the law of attraction? X, I love that question. I talked about it over the last week. I think I used to chase things a lot in life. And chase women, chase money, chase jobs, chase family, fancy cars. And I think I'm more at peace now than I have been at other times of my life. I used to think I could control the world and make the world go a certain way. And I think I go with the flow better. And when you go with the flow, I think you're also vibing with the law of attraction. What I'm trying to do is get a little better every day and work on myself and become more at peace with myself and my environment and inside my feelings. And I think I'm doing a better job of attracting things. I've had opportunities open up for me and jobs that I'd never heard of once I stopped trying so hard. And I think I tried really hard in my last relationship and shouldn't even have ever been in that relationship. And I think the less I try, the more healthy my next relationship will be, the better job I'm going to attract, and the better my life will be. How do you distinguish lust from attraction in your life and search for forever companionship? Mark, I don't think I'm searching for forever companionship. How about that? You stop searching. I think that. You realize everything you have is already here. Everything you need is already here. And you keep fanning the flames inside you and building yourself and growing physically, mentally, spiritually, financially. I think life works out. What do my younger kids think about me on YouTube? Well, I have 4 kids. My younger ones are 2 and 4, and they probably don't think about much about me on YouTube. And my older kids I think they believe in Coffee with Ken. I think Erin thinks I should post a couple less videos a day. She thinks I'd go viral more often. And Morgie laughs because her friends wonder how I got such a big audience. And we're wondering if I paid for viewers. Like on Instagram, I have like 35,000 viewers over there. And I think to a kid these days, somebody that has 35,000 viewers on on Instagram is like famous. So they're wondering how Morgie's dad got famous and if he paid for viewers. I think they think it's cool. I think they believe in it. They know I'm making a little bit of money on it. They know I enjoy it. And I believe they believe, I think they're really proud of their dad. Have I ever done a guest lecture at their schools? Have I ever done a guest lecture at their schools? No, you mean in terms of like content creation? It was funny. We were talking this weekend. I would always be at their schools. I would volunteer for everything. And there was one day where like a police officer came to Erin's class and they needed a parent volunteer to dress up in disguise and sneak in and take the police officer's purse off the desk. And they, I don't know, sent out an email, but somehow I volunteered because I did. And I put all sorts of different stuff all over me to the point that Erin didn't even know who I was. And the kids in class, like I snuck in while the cop was giving her presentation, and I took the purse off the desk and I left. And the cop then asked the kids to describe the person that stole the purse. And it was kind of a test of how good their memory was or how observant they were. And it was fun. But either way, I came across a picture of that yesterday or last night. I showed Morgie because she didn't see it. And I looked very funny. I remember they did that when I was in school to warn about stranger danger. Yeah. Driving for dough, you just seem like you got a negative bent on everything. How about you stop watching my show? Everything you ask has a negative bent. You question the police officer had a purse. You question how my kids like my videos. How about you stop watching and you go work on your own channel? Yeah. Maybe life would be better for you and you'd be more at peace, being less cynical about everything I say and do. Why don't we do that? Why don't you go on your life and live a happy life and stop watching my videos? I think that would be best. I'm going to get a little more coffee. Do I want to watch your stream? No. I have no desire to. I never have and I never will. Yet you're here on my stream saying negative things. I'm wondering why that is. Oh. Look at that. Look at that steam raging. Look at that. That looks super cool. That looks super hot. I gotta try some. What makes the U.S. the greatest country in the world? I mean, I'm almost going to say our Constitution, capitalism, a belief that we can be better, that we can do things differently. I think an inherent belief that less government is better. Yeah. Mark Ferris wants to know if coffee stores and other community establishments should fight against loitering. Well, I mean, I spend a fair amount of time in coffee with stores, and so I don't want them to fight too hard against loitering. I mean, should they? I think they should do whatever they think is best for their business. You know, some places, a lot of places, okay, loitering. I was in the shopping mall with my daughters yesterday, and I was amazed how comfortable the seats are in the mall. And they're designed for dads, husbands, boyfriends, honestly. And I know that sounds sexist, but let me tell you, I spent a fair amount of time sitting on these comfortable chairs. I was joined by men. I don't think a woman ever sat on one of these comfortable chairs. No matter where I went, I was surrounded by guys waiting for their girls, their kids, their girlfriends, their wives to finish shopping. But anyway, that could be almost looked at as loitering, and that I was sitting in the mall, not shopping or not doing anything, except just resting. So you could almost look at that as loitering. But should coffee shops? I think they should probably establish their own rules and decide what's best for them. At what cadence should you have to buy something? Again, Mark, I think that's a rule that the business owner should decide. Starbucks for years let anybody come in, whether they bought something or not. Dang it, Nancy said the massaging chairs are cool. Dang it, Nancy, you must have been following me yesterday. I was sitting in a massaging chair, and I was wondering if it was worth popping $5 and getting a little rub while I'm there. I did not. But I actually thought about it. Driving for Dough says the bigger government gives us more stability. Well, what does stability really mean? You know, if you're a prisoner in prison, you have stability. You have a place to sleep, and you are fed at night, and you have a schedule. So that is stability. But is it something you'd want? I doubt most of us would choose to be a prisoner. But as a prisoner, you have stability. Why are Starbucks staff so friendly? I think they're probably well trained. They probably hire well. They're amazingly good on at remembering names. On Father's Day, all those men shouldn't have been left on their own at the mall. They should have been center of attention, at least for that day. Well, Sylvia, being your name is Sylvia, maybe you don't know what really makes men happy. And maybe those guys, I know when I was sitting there, just knowing my daughters were happy looking at jewelry, shopping, maybe that was all that I needed. And maybe that's what the other guys that were sitting next to me needed. I think what a man might want, I don't think women know what men want. I'm not sure if they care, and men maybe don't know what women want. And I think for most men, a lot of guys, I know for me, I would have been happy on Father's Day just having my kids around watching the US Open, drinking some beer. What city am I from? I grew up outside of Chicago, and currently live in Appleton, Wisconsin. I've been here for 4 months. Mark Ferris says, your wife doesn't know what you want. And it might not be her fault, Mark, but maybe she should stop guessing. You know, I used to try and figure out what my wives wanted. And again, I think if maybe we focus more within and stop trying to control the world, maybe if my wife is laying on the couch with a pillow over her head, she's just fine. Maybe I don't need to fix, save, change my wife at that moment. Maybe she wants to be laying on the couch with a pillow over her head. To me, she's given all vibes of being miserable. But I think I'd try and fix it and try and say, hey, let's go for a walk. Let's go to Starbucks. Let's go swimming or whatever. Maybe if the woman or the man in your life is laying on the couch with a pillow over their head, maybe that's what they really want to be doing. Do I like a New York accent? I mean, not particularly. You told her you wanted to have a crawfish boil, but she planned the Morton Arboretum. Mark, are you serious about that? I mean, that sounds almost cliche. And maybe, yeah. Maybe, and I don't want to pick on your wife, but she's trying to create her perfect thought of what Father's Day should be. You and she and your kids at the Morton Arboretum. And I think that happens a lot of times. Like I said, I'm twice divorced, and I'd see my wife doing whatever my wife's doing. I'd assume I needed to fix, save, change her and say, hey, let's go for a walk. And that might have been the last thing my wife wanted to do. And maybe your wife was doing the same. She pictured a perfect Father's Day for you as a family trip to the Morton Arboretum, and that couldn't have been further from what you wanted. It seems a trip to the Morton Arboretum is a far cry from a crawfish boil, though. X says, why is it so hard to find a girlfriend nowadays? I think we should stop looking. I really do. I mean, okay, granted, I'm not looking, and I haven't found one. Somebody asked what I manifested. I don't know. I mean, I don't want to go into specifics, but I think not the less we look. I think keeping your eyes open and keeping moving forward is the key, and everything else will fall into place. Mark says his wife doesn't like me having all that sodium and wants me getting my steps in as I age. Sounds like you married a personal trainer, Mark. And that's cool. And maybe, I'm not going to tell you what to do if that's okay. But I mean, if you wanted to have a crawfish boil and she wanted you to get your steps in and not have sodium, for me, that would get frustrating after a while because it was Father's Day. But if you're okay with it, that's okay. And again, I think we're all different, so yeah. Oh, But anyway, I don't know what you're saying, X. You're 3 months on something and something, and you hope that will help you find a girlfriend. Again, I think you should stop looking. It seems crazy. Uh, Especially, I talk about living a purposeful life, but I think the purpose of the life would be to maximize the gifts God's given us. And everything else kind of falls into place. Well, I mean, Mark, to me, my heart's almost bleeding for you. Yeah. You went to Panera and the Arboretum instead. I would guess. I know the wives I've married, I've been married twice. I think both my wives, on Mother's Day, the idea of a perfect Mother's Day might be, I don't know. And again, it's hard to guess, but I know both of my wives like to garden, and gardening and not having to worry about the kids on their Mother's Day brought them happiness and doing whatever they wanted. And I think if we put on them, on our spouse or our significant other, what we think they want, I think problems happen. Good morning, John Dowd. How are you? Duchess says they're glad they met their husband before all the social media crap. Yeah. Let's see. Getting out of the negative society is the solution for peace. Getting out of the negative thoughts in your head, I think, is the solution for peace. Dang it, Nancy is procrastinating planting another rose bush right now. Perhaps you don't want another rose bush, Nancy. Yeah, maybe you don't want another rose bush. Maybe you think you need another rose bush, but that's not really what you want. Oh, that's good. But anyway, it's Monday morning. It's 9:15. Got a late start today. But I'm looking forward to my day. I'm going back to job number 1 today. And I haven't been at job number 1 in a week. For those that know, I came to Appleton, or don't know, I came to Appleton about 4 months ago and came across a job that needed somebody to work and work a lot of hours and bring a good attitude. And I've done that for 4 months. And another job that needs the same skill set but might have more opportunity for me came across my lap. And I trained at that other job last week, and because of that I took off a couple days and then took off Father's Day weekend. So I haven't worked at job number 1 in a week. Going back today. I feel so distant from it, like I don't even know what I'm supposed to do, or I won't know where things go. I'm sure it will all fall back into place and everything will work out okay. But for me, and I talked about it a little yesterday, it's funny interviewing or training at another job when you have a job. To me, it felt like cheating on a girlfriend a little bit. And I know it's a job or a career, it's not a girlfriend, and you should always keep your eyes open. And apparently you're not supposed to keep your eyes open in relationships. Isn't that kind of strange, though? Because I think we all think we should keep our eyes open. In a career. But if you keep your eyes open and you're in a relationship, that wouldn't be right. I think you'd be giving up the beauty of a relationship, and you'd be putting at risk your relationship and the love and trust of a partner for a better opportunity. But I find it unusual. We are supposed to keep our eyes open for a better opportunity with work, but not in a partner. Not saying that's right or wrong. Have I ever seen a Russian or a Muslim person in real life? Yes. Yes. Good morning, Jack Taylor. I've seen lots of Russian people and even more Muslim people. I mean, I don't know if I see Russian people every day. I probably don't. But I bet you when I lived in the suburbs of Chicago, there was somebody that was Russian every day I saw that had English as a second language. There's a lot of Eastern European people in and around Chicago. Now that I'm up in Wisconsin, there's probably much less. But I'd certainly see Muslim people every day. Thank you, Jack Taylor. I had a great day. My girls left about an hour and a half, 2 hours ago, and I cried as they left. Yeah. The mattress evidently has been working great, Jack Taylor, but I've been sleeping on my futon. I had my girls the first. Jack Taylor wants to know how the mattress has been working out. I haven't been sleeping on it. I've been sleeping on this futon right here, and the girls slept on the mattress, and they said they slept great. That's my idea. Believe me, they did not. The bed's not made perfectly. The bed is not made perfectly. I think perfect is overrated, but let me tell you, they left the bed in a shambles. So I made it, and that's what it looks like after I make it. But I have not experienced the mattress in days because my girls were over. I'm excited to be sleeping on it tonight, though. Although I miss my girls, and if I could do a trade, I'd have my daughters up here all the time. Dang it, Nancy says, that futon doesn't look very comfortable. I can't tell you how happy I am with the futon, Nancy. Sure, it's not the most soft, plush couch in the world. It's firm, but it's good. I mean, I had a great time watching the movie. And as far as sleeping, I mean, A, how comfy are futons? But B, I put my mattress pad over it, and it was wonderful. So I think it's perfect. If anybody's out there looking for a futon, I cannot sing the praises of this one high enough. And it was $220 at Walmart. I could not be happier with it. Yeah, I think it looks great and feels great. You know, yeah, if you want a huge couch that you sink into, that's not this. But I couldn't be more pleased the way it looks and the way it feels and how it finishes out the room. So yeah. It's great I get a view of the sunrise. Yeah, but I usually have the blinds shut, Jack Taylor. When the light starts peeping in is when I usually wake up. But let me tell you again, it was great to sleep till 7 this morning. But it's Monday morning. I'm back to work today. Excited about my day. Have a bunch of leftovers, ton of Italian food in my fridge that my daughters and I had the other night. Got a ton of fruit to eat because I stocked up my fridge, and my girls didn't eat a whole bunch. They ate a lot of strawberries, but everything else they kind of left alone. And I'm looking forward to my day. I think I'm going to do a quick workout and post some videos, get to work this afternoon. And yeah, dang it, Nancy, you're talking about the Futon. I am telling you, it's at Walmart's. They're $220. It lays flat. It's got a fold-out thing that you can plug your phone into. I love it, you know. And again, I slept on it great last night. You know, it's firmer than you'd want a mattress to be, but I have a mattress pad that I covered my futon with and slept great on it. And it looks awesome, I think. So I think I couldn't sing its praises high enough. But anyway, sorry, I talked more about the futon. Duchess of Petty said futons have come a long way. Yeah, okay. Do you guys want to talk more about the futon? We will. We will. Let's see. Let's just put it here. We're going to give some demonstrations to the futon. Oh, wait. Oh, this comes down. And you can't see, but I'll show you. There's 2 cup holders. There's 2 outlets or ports or whatever they're called, so you can plug your phone in and charge it up. Let me show you how it folds down. For anybody that wants it, I cannot tell you how pleased I am with it. Yeah, let me do. I hope I don't break it. That lays flat, and you now have a bed. And again, I put a mattress pad on it, and it was really comfortable. You could sleep on this no problem whatsoever. And if anybody's got limited space, or maybe has a kid moving into an apartment and maybe they're on a budget or whatever, or don't have a big enough space for a huge couch, I could not be more pleased with this purchase. And I was hesitant to buy it. And a couple of weeks ago, I was on this show, and people were encouraging me to go out and buy it and just do it and stop overthinking it. I did, and in the next 2 weeks, I put it together. I've got a table, I've got a TV, I've got a lamp, I've got 3 plants, and my apartment has become a home, and it feels real good. So, yeah. Anyway, I hope you guys have a wonderful, wonderful Monday. And I hope you had a great weekend. Any dads out there, I hope you had a wonderful Father's Day. And hope you are feeling good. Hope you are loving yourself. I hope you are forgiving yourself. And as always, I hope to talk to you soon. Bye-bye.